Hello, my name is Will Boyd, and today I will be showing you how to use Ansible facts to make decisions in playbooks. Ansible playbooks can be a very powerful way to perform a simple series of tasks, but sometimes you need the ability to do a little more. Sometimes you need to be able to make a decision and do different things in different scenarios. To illustrate this concept, let's use an example scenario. Let's make a playbook that's able to install a package on different hosts with different Linux distributions. A great example to use here is the Apache web server package, because the name of this package is different between Debian-based systems and CentOS-based systems. Here we have the command line commands that we would run on these respective environments in order to install this package. And here are corresponding Ansible tasks that would show us how we would go about installing this package on each of these systems through Ansible. Now, Ansible has an APT module designed for installing packages on systems that use the APT package manager, and it also has a Yum module for installing using the Yum package manager. But I've chosen instead to use the package module, which simply selects the appropriate package manager silently so that I don't have to worry about it. However, I still do have to worry about the actual package name, which is going to be different depending on whether I'm installing on Debian, where the package is named Apache 2, or CentOS, where the appropriate package is named HTTPD. So what I need my playbook to do is detect which Linux distribution I'm on and install either the Apache 2 module or the HTTPD module accordingly. Now this is where Ansible facts become very useful. Ansible facts are simply information about hosts which Ansible gathers at runtime. These facts can then be referenced as variables within my playbook. Ansible facts contain information such as data about the Linux distribution or OS, information about hardware, and really a lot of other potentially useful things. So now I'll go ahead and do a live demonstration where I'll show you how to find the Linux distribution within your playbook and use that information to make a decision as to how you want to go about installing the Apache package. So here we have a very simple playbook with no existing tasks. I'm going to go ahead and create a task to install Apache, and we'll use that package module that will determine for us which package manager to use. What this will do is install the Apache 2 package and make sure that it's at the latest version. However, this will only work for our Debian-based Linux hosts because, again, on the CentOS-based hosts, that package name needs to be HTTPD, not Apache 2. Now, there are many different ways to do this, but the way that I'm going to show you today is to create a second task, and let's go ahead and differentiate the names here. And this second task will install the HTTPD package. Now, the problem is both of these tasks right now would try to run no matter which host I'm running this automation against. And of course, if I run this automation against a CentOS host, this first task will fail, and if I try to run this automation against a Debian host, this second task will fail. But I'm going to show you how to use conditional logic to check the value of an Ansible fact, which will tell you which Linux distribution your host is running. I'm going to use a when statement, which is a conditional statement, and if the value of the expression that I'm going to put here evaluates to true, then the task will be executed. If, however, this evaluates to false, the task will be skipped. So what I'm saying here is if the value of Ansible distribution, which is an Ansible fact, equals Debian, then this task will in fact be executed. Let's duplicate that when statement down here, only this time we want to check if the Linux distribution is CentOS. So this second task will only run if the Linux distribution is CentOS, this first task will only run if the Linux distribution is Debian. Now, all the Ansible facts begin with Ansible underscore, so this simply indicates that this particular variable is referring to an Ansible fact, and the name of that specific variable is distribution, which refers to the Linux distribution. Now let's go ahead and run this so that we can see what the output looks like. Now I've set up a couple of virtual machines here on my laptop, one of them running Debian and the other running CentOS. And I'm going to call my playbook and reference an inventory file that I've prepared to be able to connect to those two machines. This first task is a task that Ansible automatically runs where it says gathering facts. This is where it's actually determining the value of all these Ansible facts, and now we can see this first task, which installs Apache using APT for Debian-based systems. We can see that for the Debian host, this task actually executed, but it skipped it for the CentOS host. And vice versa for the second task. This second task was set up to run only on CentOS systems and install the HTTPD package, which is appropriate for a CentOS system. And of course, the task executed on the CentOS host, but was skipped for the Debian host. So using Ansible facts, what I've been able to do here is create a single playbook that is capable of managing both Debian and CentOS-based systems. Now we've just used the Ansible distribution fact in order to determine the Linux distribution of the host that we're running against and make decisions based upon that information. But there are many other Ansible facts which are available for your hosts, and I'm just going to show you really quickly how you can view all the different facts that are available about each one of your hosts. In order to do that, I'm just going to use a simple ad hoc Ansible command, and I'm going to run it against my CentOS host. And I'm going to call the setup module. This is the module which Ansible uses to gather facts whenever you run a playbook. But we can just call it right here to simply print out the values of all the facts that Ansible gathers as output so that we can see what is available. As you can see, there's quite a bit of data here, and all of this data was just gathered in real time by Ansible from my CentOS VM. So feel free to use this command or a similar command to gather all of the fact data from one of your hosts so that you can see what information is available to you. And that's all. Check the video description below for a link to the sample project source code on GitHub, as well as links to Ansible documentation relevant to some of the topics that were covered in this video.